President Biden addressed the nation after the House passed a continuing resolution to keep the government open. Let's take a look at what he had to say. I'm sure it was very important.
I hope this experience for the Speaker has been one of a personal revelation. I'm not being facetious. Anyway.
Well, there you have it. The president's brain is broken. How many more times does this have to happen? How many more times do we have to see this before someone speaks the obvious, that there's just something wrong there? And then it appeared that Biden's brain broke once again. Here he is on 60 Minutes telling a charming story about his time in the Senate.
When I left the Senate, I was able to convince Tom Thurman to vote for the Voting Rights Act. Tom Thurman.
That's a fascinating story. Didn't I just hear it somewhere before, just like a few days ago?
You know, toward the end of my Senate campaign, I convinced Tom Thurman to vote for the civil rights legislation. Not a joke.
Yeah, so there he is telling the exact same story with the exact same words almost within just a few days. And here's the real problem. Joe Biden's last day in the Senate was 2009. Strom Thurmond died in 2003, and the Voting Rights Act was passed in the Senate in 1965, before Joe Biden was a senator. And by the way, it was opposed by a bunch of Democrats, a bunch of racist, segregationist Democrats who, when Joe Biden did come into the Senate, they were all his best pals. He brags about it all the time. So what the hell is going on here? Listen, you and I, we've seen clips like this almost on a daily basis for the last 3 years. It's a problem. Even Democrats are starting to figure it out.
New rule, someone has to convince President Biden that if he runs again, he's going to turn the country back over to Trump and go and go down in history as Ruth Bader Biden. The person who doesn't know when to quit and so does great damage to their party and their country.
See, but here's the problem. Democrats have been strong-armed by the Biden people to not have a primary process, not have a caucus process, not have any debates. It's Biden. That's all they've got. And if anyone tries to run against him, they get squeezed out. Look at Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He was gonna run against Joe Biden for the Democrat nomination. Now he's planning on making an announcement next week, and it's anticipated that he'll run as an independent. And if you're a Democrat voter right now and you're concerned about Joe Biden and you don't want to vote for Donald Trump, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. might just be a good option for you. And RFK Jr., he's in his 70s, just a few years younger than Joe Biden. Let's see how he's holding up.
Hey, you're going to come in, right? Yeah. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Shake on it.
One. Okay.
RFK Jr. makes 70 look like the new 40. And Joe Biden, he makes 80 look like the new 140.